Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. So, as you probably saw in the title, I am officially quitting my six-figure job for a kind of uncertain future out in Asia. And I was talking to some of my coworkers and friends about it, and they said that I should probably document this journey. So I don't even really know what I'm doing here, to be honest, but I figured I'd share my journey here with anybody who's willing to look at it. Where do I even start? For a while, I have worked. I've been working this job where I'm currently, or soon to no longer be at, for about almost 10 years now, and I've never experienced such unhappiness in my life, and it was really affecting me in a way that I noticed was very much not healthy. And I'm here in my car. I left, and I left my workplace, and today was the day. I submitted my resignation. I sent it off and started looking into what it's going to be like to leave where I'm currently working and everything that it's going to take. And that's probably why the lighting is so bad and this isn't scripted. So I have no idea what I'm doing, but I've been working this job, and we got your typical, like, my normal working hours where I work Wednesday through Saturday, 10-hour shifts each day. But I've been working consecutively for the past almost 32 days, just because of overtime, and that's not the main reason for why I'm leaving. It's actually to help me prepare. I'll get into more details, into all the details about why this happened and why, like, what really led to this decision. But it's a lot of little things that come together. And I left my apartment. I left where I was at, and I'm not living in my car. If you see a blanket back there, I swear it's not because I'm living in my car. But I'm staying with my brother, who I'm very fortunate is letting me stay with him until I leave the country. But I've been working this job, and I've been at this place for like 10 years, and I've reached a point where I realize just how insignificant I kind of am, to the job and where I am. Really, what broke the camel's back for me was that where I currently work, you get a vacation sign up sheet. It's once a year, and ours comes out in late October, sometimes early November, and we have a certain amount of vacation time that we accrue per year. And I tried requesting some time. I put in hours and hours and hours and hours of overtime every single week. I sometimes work more overtime hours than my regular working hours are supposed to be. And when I went in to try to submit my request for next year's vacation, it got denied. So mind you, I get maybe 130 hours or something like that of vacation for the entire year. And so I used my vacation, that amounts to about 13 days. And I used my entire vacation time in one go. I submitted one time frame, which is 13 days for vacation, which amounts to 130 hours. And it got denied. And I'm the second most senior person where I'm currently working. And again, I've been there 10 years. And so I've known my boss for a long time. And, I went into her office because she asked to meet with me after my vacation time was denied. And she wanted to let me know why she had to reject my request. And, she sat me down and started talking to me about how I should be asking for 1 week off at a time, and how 3 weeks puts too much stress on the office. Mind you, I submitted my request just this last October, and the trip is supposed to be this upcoming March. So plenty of months. I thought the issue was that there was no guaranteed coverage. And so I came in there expecting that to be the conversation. And I was going to say, hey, I can find the coverage. I get along really well with my coworkers, and we do this for each other all the time. I said, I'll find the coverage. Just don't worry about it. Approve my days if you can. And she comes back at me and says, no, because it's against whatever policy, and I should be requesting. I don't even think she cited a policy. I think it was more of something like it was at her discretion for the office's needs or something like that. And so she rejected it, and she said, it puts too much strain on the office, even though it's months ahead of time and I could have found the coverage for it. And just like, I thought we got along pretty well, but just the blatant, I don't know, just, there was no emotion behind it. It was just, no, sorry, you can't do it. It's going to put too much strain on the office. It's like, it made me feel like she didn't even try to work with me. Like, you're the only person who's more senior than me has been there 15 years. And every year I put, like, I'm not trying to cry a river here, but I just feel like I would have had at least maybe a little more respect. I guess I was just a little disappointed in that. I feel like I put so many hours of overtime every week, and I've been doing that for months. Again, I'm on my 30-something consecutive day in a row of working. And, for her to just reject it and deny it like that, and not even really hear me out on, trying to work with me to make it happen. And I even brought it up, I was like, hey, like, I can kind of see where you're coming from, but again, I can find the coverage. At least just give me some time to figure it out. And, I've been here for so long, and I take so much overtime that's available for the office. And then she comes back at me saying that the overtime that I picked was on me. How she didn't ask me to take the overtime, and if I didn't take the overtime, she could have just found somebody else to do it. And I mean, I don't know, man, that left such a nasty taste in my mouth. Like, you're second most senior tech, bro, and you're talking to them like that. I don't know. I don't know if it was just me. I don't know if I'm just tripping, or I don't know, but and I think at one point she even said something along the lines of like, well, what do you even need the time for anyway? Like, is there some once in a lifetime event to, that you need the 3 consecutive weeks off for? And I was like, does there need to be? Am I crazy, or does there need to be a once in a lifetime event for me to be able to request some time off? Like, really? For an entire year? I only requested 1 day for the entire year. I mean, not 1 day, one trip for the entire year. And it was 3 weeks. And the entire rest of the year would have just been me working and doing overtime like I have been. And I don't know. It just made me realize how little I guess how I felt or how I wanted to go about it really mattered to her and to the office. And I realized that, like, what am I doing here? The rent where I lived was about $2,000 a month to be in a studio that I hated. It was built in like the 70s, and it was ugly and disgusting, and everything was pretty much broken. And, just to go work at a job that I also kind of have always hated. But then also to find out that, like, even to my supervisor, it's nothing. It doesn't matter. I don't know. I had enough. And so I submitted my resignation, and I'm starting this channel to document me leaving. And I've always wanted to go to Japan and see, all parts of Asia. And I'm very fortunate that I have friends in the Philippines and in Vietnam and Thailand that are willing to have me come in and show me around and stay and even room with some of them. And I'll get into what my plans are in a later video. This one's getting kind of long. But anyways, here we are. Maybe I'll talk a little more if I miss something about what's going on a little bit later. But welcome to whatever this ends up being, guys. And you know, if any of you stick around, I appreciate it. If any of you want to just see how it goes, let's go along for this ride together.